yourself. What's your history, professional background, and what it is that you do for a living?
Okay, sure. Great to meet everyone. My name is Zorina Alliata. I am currently working in my day job at Amazon. But I'll give you a bit of history. I've been in IT my entire career for a couple of decades now. I was a programmer at first, which was an awesome time. Then I grew into, technical management and then program management, portfolio management. And about 10 years ago, 2015, I was extremely happy to see that artificial intelligence came back from the AI winter in the form of machine learning. I had studied it in college, but at the time we didn't have the technology to actually do AI. So I was extremely interested. I literally dropped everything and took all the courses that I could find on Coursera and Udemy and everywhere and learned everything I could about it. In my company, I was working at Geico, which is a large insurance company in the US. They just put together a data science team. So I applied and I got a job in the data science team, started learning about creating models and putting models in production, deployment. Um, and after that, I went to Capital One, which is a bank in the US, to do the same thing, but a much larger scale, where we had hundreds of data scientists and machine learning engineers. And I was the senior delivery manager for the Center for Machine Learning. So to make sure that all of the work gets done and deployed correctly. So it was awesome. I had a great time there. I've learned a lot about doing AI. And then I went to Amazon about 6 years ago. Um, this time in a customer facing role to talk about AI, to design AI strategy and solutions for our customers, which are global companies. And I've been doing this in the US and also in Europe in the last few years. Um, in the meantime, I love teaching. So I've always been teaching somewhere on top of my day job. For several years, I've been teaching at Georgetown University in DC, where I actually created a couple of the AI courses for their graduate school. And in the last year, I've been teaching at OPIT as well, which has been an awesome experience.
Cool, great. Thanks for this introduction. Let me just go 1 second back, and I would like to hear from you. So you've been working the first part of your career uh, in a product, let's say, environment for the company, or working not with external clients. All right, and then the right switch once you landed at Amazon. What's the difference? How did you transition, and what are the peculiarities in dealing with external clients? I'm assuming you will have for sure the possibility to discuss, to talk, to interact with people coming from very different backgrounds, many different industries. And so just tell me a little bit about this.
Absolutely. So of course it's a big difference, and I'm going to say it's not for everyone, right? So some people are not comfortable talking with basically strangers and getting into very ambiguous situations, because when you talk with external customers, you don't know anything, right? You have very little background. So you don't know what's going to happen. So it's not as structured, right? If you have internal customers, you have an idea of where they are in the organization, who's doing make the decision, who has the budget, right? So you kind of have a structure and an agenda in your mind as you talk to them. But for external customers, it's always it could be a surprise and could go in different ways. So you need a few qualities that don't really have anything to do with knowing technical things, but just exactly what I'm going to talk about my course, which is the soft skills, right? To kind of position yourself well and always come on top in this type of situation. And that is to just be able to listen, be open to whatever the customer's pain point is, right? Because they come to talk to you about the problem that they have or about a need. So don't go in assuming things and trying to sell them something, no matter how good it is. We never do that, right? We go in listening for the customer, and then whatever happens and whatever comes to you, right, you be open to it, and you literally try and help. So if you have this type of frame of mind, right, you can deal with the ambiguity and whatever things are thrown at you.
Very interesting. I mean, you are perfectly positioned with your career progression, from my perspective, to teach this kind of soft skills. It's often an overlooked uh, kind of set of you know tools, especially in tech education or in the tech world. But as you just mentioned, is basically it's how you can navigate your work. And yeah, it just maybe tell me a little bit about how important in your career soft skills and critical thinking has been.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, that's what I do. I have talked to global companies, right? CEOs, CIOs, CTOs from all over the world. People who are in very different industries. We work across industries. So I'm talking with people who are in the financial industry, and then tomorrow I'll talk with someone who is in the agriculture, and they have lots of farms. One time I had a customer who wanted to know about their chickens, and how to feed their chickens correctly, how to use AI to do predictive maintenance on their uh, chicken feeding equipment. I know nothing about chickens, right? Like, I've never been in one of these farms. I don't know what the equipment is. But and other times we had the customer who had pipes underneath the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean, right? So their interest was in creating robots to inspect those. So just so different. The problems that people have come from such different domains that you need to understand, to try and take that and make it into, well, what does that mean in data, in numbers, in where I can come in and help, right? With the software and the AI. So it's a very interesting. It's an art and a science.
Okay, all right. So this is really, really interesting. And just can you try and guide me a little on how you approach teaching this kind of knowledge to students that are mainly studying, technology related or business related subjects, and the kind of education that is more technical in a way.
Sure. So I find that, and I say this because I used to be a programmer, so I'm allowed to make fun of programmers forever. But most of the time, a lot of folks who are brilliant technically are missing on the soft skills, right? It's just they don't teach this in school. They literally do not. So a lot of folks who are very, very great at what they do, and they know all about the technology, they just simply have a problem communicating that out, right? Or giving themselves credit for it. So then, it's something that you learn. It's not, you don't have to be born with it. It's okay if you're an introverted person. You can still learn some of the skills to help you be successful in your, technical career. If not, unfortunately, these soft skills are what makes or breaks, right, your climbing the ladder in a corporation. So what I'm teaching is things like how to communicate. So communication skills, interpersonal skills, um, leadership and influence. That's not something that just comes, right? You have to learn how to be a leader, and you have to practice that. How do you influence others? When you are a leader, when you're the manager of the software team, you don't write the software anymore. You have to make the people in your team write the software, right? So that, how do you influence folks to do that, to be motivated about it? So this type of skills super important. Problem solving, and of course critical thinking, which especially in AI, this has been like the number one thing that I see everywhere that everybody decides, it's needed. We also teach time management, stress management. There's a lot of stress in the industry right now because of the major changes happening. And I'm teaching also negotiation, how to negotiate, um, and just professional networking. So all of those are part of the course.
Cool, great. And how do you approach the, let's say, hybrid methodology that is at the center of OPIT's program, asynchronous plus synchronous model, and are in addition to this, uh, do students work on real cases, group projects?
Yes, so that's exactly right. We use both asynchronous but also synchronous meetings. And to be honest, those are my favorite part. I absolutely love meeting the students, especially at OPIT. They're from such varied backgrounds, and I always find just I learn from them a lot more than they learn from me. My two things that I do, one is that I always invite folks that I work with that do this kind of things in real life to come and talk to the students, because many times students take these courses to get into the industry, but they don't have the experience. So for them to actually meet a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, somebody who actually does these things day in, day out, and they can ask questions. I found that it's very appreciated, and a lot of the students like that. And then the other thing I do, I always have a project, a group project. I find that just the most interesting ideas come out when you let people, give them enough freedom, just some guidance, and give them enough freedom to come up with something interesting. Um, and in this course, I'm doing I think a really cool project. Time will tell. Um, if you're aware, in the IT industry right now, AI coding assistants are everywhere. They're replacing entry level programmers. They're doing a lot of the writing, programming, jobs. So, and they're quite good. They're quite awesome. I use them myself. I don't know anyone who still programs who does not use an AI coding assistant. So very common. However, these models don't reason. They don't know what they're saying. They just know a lot, but they don't know what they're saying, right? And if you work with them, you immediately start hitting some of those limitations. 20, 30 queries in, you start seeing that the model degrades, right? The results are shifting in different directions. They don't think like humans think. So humans are very much still needed in the loop, and to validate the output of these models. So now you don't need to know how to program, right? But you need to have the critical thinking
It in a way.
to evaluate if that program really does what it's supposed to be doing. Not only that, but the AI communicates in a different way that you would talk with a human. So you have to figure out how to talk to the AI.
Right. Learning a new language in a way.
How to supply those critical thinking, how to infuse that critical thinking, the human thinking, into what the model is doing. So to me, if the students do this project, which is use an AI coding assistant like Cursor or Lovable or any other to create an app. You don't have to know how to code. You just have to talk to the AI and ask it to do the app, and then talk it through, until the app is the way you want it. So to me, this will enable the students to learn how to talk with the AI correctly, how to use this critical thinking and infuse it back into the AI output. And I think that it will be very helpful for them, because then they'll go into the real life. They'll have to work with AI, but now they'll know how to communicate in a better way.
Cool. Really cool. Okay, I think, Zorina, thanks a lot for this. It's already for me a great time, learning a lot, and it's very interesting. And I personally enjoy like very much, the your trajectory, right? From the technical to the managerial, leadership positions, mentoring, teaching. It's very clear that you are an enthusiast of what you do. And I appreciate this very much.